Good morning and welcome to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter, the show that takes a look at the events and what's happening all around Putnam County, as well as interviews with local, community, and business leaders. And now, sharing his insights and experience, here's Today in Putnam County with County Mayor Randy Porter.
Good day, and thanks for joining us here this week for Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you're having a great weekend. Our show this week, it's about law enforcement, and who better to talk about that than our chief law enforcement official in Putnam County, and that's our sheriff, Mr. Eddie Farris. Thanks for being on the show, Eddie.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
We were just talking on the break. Almost 10 years we've been in office, coming up in September.
10 years go by fast. And then not just being the elected official, which is certainly the highlight of my career, but sure it is yours as well, but all the years we had before that. So good Lord's been good to us on having some good health and keeping us in the groove and letting us do what we love to do.
Absolutely. I'm guessing we probably go back about 40 years, don't we? You worked at the Sheriff's Department when I was at EMS. Yeah,
I started sometime in the 1989 area, so I know you was there before I was. But yeah, it goes by quickly.
You left us and went to the TBI. You had a long career there before coming back. Right?
Yeah, I left and went to the Tennessee Highway Patrol and worked in criminal investigations there for about 11 years, and then 2006 switched over to Tennessee Bureau of Investigations and worked another 11, and then as things would have it, come back and was able to run for sheriff, and it's been an honor. It's been great to be here, and we've had some great sheriffs in our time here, as you know, and Putnam County has a long history of keeping a good sheriff for some time, and we've done that, and I'm very grateful that the citizens here trust me and let me be the sheriff for a while.
Absolutely. Looking at running again, right, in 2026?
Yeah, planning on running another time. I'm 60. I feel like I've still got some energy and things are good, and quite honestly, you know, it takes a while. As we're going to talk about here in a minute, our new jail edition, so that certainly helped things. Yeah. Very stressful at times, trying to manage 400 inmates in a 250-person jail, so that'll certainly help to do that.
Yeah, and you think about how things have changed. You know, you remember when they built the Justice Center back in the early 90s, and 250 beds was a lot, looking from the jail that they came to from, the old one down there, which I don't know how many beds it had. It couldn't have many, did it?
It had 72. We walked 72 up there. I was still there, hadn't left for the state yet, and so we walked 72 up the road in a sort of a chain gang configuration, but we put 72 in at that time it was really almost 180 bed jail. It wasn't a 250 bed jail
until later.
But when the times have changed, and as you know very well, and firsthand knowledge, and as you deal with on your daily basis of job duties, our population has increased dramatically, and so it certainly drives everything up. And you know, that's a great thing. We talk about it often. Putnam County's, you know, you and I are biased. I still believe Putnam County is probably the best place to live in Tennessee, but absolutely. Tennessee as a whole is a great state as we see all the influx of people coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking when I started DMS back in 79, and we had one ambulance on duty at a time, and at night, I think there was only one deputy on it at a lot of times. You might have two, but to cover the whole county. And now look at how many we got.
Yeah.
I mean, we got several, and we've really grown. But Putnam County has done well over the last several years. We've had a good time, though, in leadership. And
certainly have.
Thank the people for it. Well, let's talk about the big thing that's going on, and that's the finishing of the new jail edition. And, you know, as I was getting ready for the show, I was thinking about how long this has been going on before us. I mean, you had a county commission and sheriff that was talking about this before we ever came into office.
Yeah, way before we came. In fact, they got put on a plan of action because they were overcrowded and had to try to deal with some things. And it's sort of ironic, you know, Sheriff Andrews was the sheriff back then, and now he's on the commission and certainly has supported everything we've done and tried to do to get this new edition ready, and knows that we need it, as all the commissioners did. Right. But yeah, it's been a huge feat and undertaking, and, you know, I just like to, you know, the citizens have been very understanding about using their tax dollars to build this facility. And people that don't know, sheriff has 4 main duties by state law. We do a lot of other things, of course, but one of those 4 is managing and operating the county jail. We have to have a jail by state law and federal law, and so we do that. And so it's a huge liability for the county, but we try to do that. And thank goodness the citizens here was kind enough and the commissioners to vote for that and getting us done. And I'd like to thank you personally here on the show. You've been a great to work with, and
Thank you.
we're fortunate here. We've got a lot of good county and city officials and state officials that's here in this county that we all get along, and we talk about that often. And
We brag about that, don't we?
But that's what makes it work. That's what makes it work. And so getting that done, and it's been a pleasant, really journey to build this facility. And of course, I know you was firsthand in building a 911 center back several years ago, and I was part of the Justice Center that we have now that we're adding on to. But that's not easy, and that's a very stressful time trying to do your work and your job you're elected to do, plus building something on the time. But it's been good, and we're there, and it's really been enjoyable.
It has, and we were very fortunate in having a really good construction company. I'm just going to say it, in Bell Construction, that they build jails everywhere along with other buildings, but that made it easy having that construction manager to work with, didn't it?
Very easy, and most people listening would certainly know the Batman building in Nashville, and they erected that and built that, and these people are Keith Pyle down there at Bell Construction, and Rick and Danny and all the team that we worked with, Alex, along the way. But they've been great to work with, and really we just sat back and took advice and gave input when it was needed, and they've done so many of them. They've looked out for us and knew what we needed, and I think we've got a great building.
Oh, I do too. I think, and it fit into the landscape of the existing building and everything around it. You wouldn't know it as a jail addition, and that's one thing. We were meeting every other week from the start of that project all the way through to the end. Keeping up to date and making decisions and everything, and it's been really good. So, looking at a grand opening coming up pretty soon for the public.
Yeah. So we're fixing to start doing some media things on that and putting that out, and we've talked about it a little, but we'll certainly talk about it today. But 25th of this month, July, which is on Thursday at 2 p.m., will be the grand opening ribbon cutting. We'll have just a small ceremony, and you and I will speak at that and get the ribbon cutting, and we're going to have an open tour there, open house for people from 2 to 4 that day, and then the very following day on the 26th, Friday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the facility will be open, and then we'll close it down and get it ready that weekend, whatever the little things we got to do, and get it ready, and then Monday we'll start operating. So we're looking forward to it. As you know, corrections, all the people that we've hired, they're already managing and working the facility over there daily, just as if prisoners are already there, just as inmates in their training, and so nothing going to be new. We're trying to work all the bugs out, and things are doing good, so we're ready to go.
Well, and it's a nice facility for the county, and to be able to expand the jail, because if you didn't expand it, the state was going to come in and really cause us some issues if we didn't. So it's a good deal, and for the general public, you need to come and see it. You need to come see where your tax dollars are spent and how it was spent. It's a great facility, and so that grand opening on the 25th and 26th. Hey, we got to take a break. Talking with Sheriff Eddie Farris this week, all about law enforcement. Stay with us. We'll be back.
And now back to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you're having a great weekend. Our show this week's all about law enforcement. My guest is our official chief law enforcement here in Putnam County, Sheriff Eddie Farris. Eddie, we've been talking about the new jail edition is just about complete and get ready to open up. Got a ribbon cutting and open house coming up?
Yeah, ribbon cutting at 2 p.m. on the 25th, which is a Thursday, and certainly invite all the public out. They're more than welcome to come. We'd like to see them. And not only the building we want to show off, that's the main purpose, but, they need to know who the county workers and the correction people and their deputies there that they're paying their tax dollar salary to. I'll brag on them a little bit. We've got some awful good county employees, not just at the sheriff's office where I'm familiar with, but all over the county. So proud to have them, and I look forward to seeing everybody. And then the following Friday, the next day, which would be Friday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., another open house for people that can't make it on the 25th. So we're looking forward to the public, and hope everybody comes out. It's a great facility. It's almost 130,000 square foot building, and as you know, and state of the art technology as we need today with today's environment. And so, but looking forward to it, and we're ready to go.
As we talked about earlier, the original Jail and Justice Center built back in the early 90s, and I can remember, and probably you do too, county commissioners walking through that and saying, why did we build such a big building? We'll never fill this up. It didn't take long with the county growing like it is, but built this for extra capacity, but built it for the future too. Talk a little bit about how many more cells and the future capacity.
Yeah, so we almost have 500 cells now that we're going to utilize initially right off the bat, and so that'll give us 750, a little more there that we'll be using. Obviously, the old part will continually be used, and we'll make that part of just a facility. And so the 750 should take us several years down the road. But we have another part in the new addition that we can actually add on to. When I say add on to, not building wise, but just sort of equip an area that we have that we can add 200 more beds.
Already shelled in.
Already shelled in and ready to go. So so that should take us many years down the road. And I'm careful when I say that because we keep thinking of today's population, even though we built it for today's. But as you know, and we've mentioned and we talk about quite frequently, man, we're growing. We're really growing. And so, thank goodness we've got a lot of good people coming here from other states, and we certainly welcome them. But, the call volume for us has certainly increased, and not saying bad things have increased, but the volume herself. And I certainly welcome that as always for the citizens to call. We want to get ahead of the game, and we welcome the calls. But yeah, that scares me a little bit trying to predict what we're going to do. But I think it'll take us many years.
Yeah, and I do too. And of course, you never know what's going to happen. We work on 5-year plans and 10-year plans, and we always try to build the new buildings based on 20 or 25 years, and you hope that's the case. But who knows what's going to happen in those years? Yeah. But we do the best we can to plan. You had a big undertaking, you and your folks. You had to hire all these new people to be able to run this place, and I know that was a huge task. How's that going?
It's going good. Very pleased with how it's going. We, of course, the studies as we presented to the commission said that we needed 100 plus people, and I think we could do it for less. I thought we could, so we asked for 60, and the commission was glad enough to help us do that. And so we've been working on that for the last several months, really from the last budget, and it's coming up on final budget time right now. And so we've took the last several months and hiring the 60 new. We're probably at 55 plus.
Wow.
So we're very close. We've probably hired 85 people to get to the 60. As you know, some people come and find out that maybe this field's just not for them, and that's okay. It's a tough job. Yeah. It's a very tough job, and it takes a special person to do it. But we've been able to, what I feel like, to get some good quality people and young people. We've got some young people from the area that comes from really good families that know who we are and what we represent and how we want our county to stay and be. And then we've acquired some individuals from other states that's retired from corrections, moved here to retire and realize that maybe they've got a little bit more gas in the tank and willing to work a little bit more. So they've come over, and it's sort of fun work. I've been told once you retire from the job and you get a paycheck coming in, and then you're able to go back and get another paycheck and you enjoy your job.
Enjoy it, yeah.
So that's what we're getting. We're getting some of those folks, and it's working out real well for us.
Well, that's great. Looking forward to the opening of the new jail edition, which is on July the 25th. Is going to be the ribbon cutting at 2:00 that afternoon. Open house till 4, and then the following day on Friday the 26th from 10 to 2.
10 to 2, yes.
And so invite everyone to come.
Everyone's welcome. It is a secured facility, and although we won't have inmates there, we unfortunately in today's environment we've got to have some rules. So we can't take pictures for the inside and some of that kind of thing. We don't really need to bring cameras. And although I'm and as well as you are too, Second Amendment person, we can't bring guns into the facility and take a chance on something even getting dropped out by accident. So none of that. We really want people to have a picture ID so we know who they are, and we want to know who's coming in and out, not for any other reason to maybe having contact later. We're always got things going, and we're going to mention it later, hopefully before the show ends. But we got our Citizens Academy up, so we welcome that, and so we want to keep up with people and be able to reach out. And sometimes we need to have volunteers and people to do things. So, but we're looking forward to it, and it's going to be a great time.
Good, 2 days to come out and see it and then take a tour. You're starting a new program, and we're talking with Sheriff Eddie Farris today about law enforcement, and we're talking about the new jail edition that's about to open. Something that you're adding, a new program, is housing federal prisoners, which is And in a way, of course, with me on the financial side, it's going to be a really good thing because it brings in extra revenue to help pay for the jail. But talk about that and how that got going.
Yeah. So first of all, let me say that we have a really good relationship with all of our federal partners, and I usually have deputies assigned to those agencies and work in some way or another, and certainly gives the deputy and the county some resources, but it also gives them resources and strengthens their relationship. So we have some issue going on in Putnam County, then they'll bring the team and come. And so, but Denny King, who is the United States Marshal of the Middle District, which is in Nashville, which Putnam County falls under, is my friend. I worked with him at the Highway Patrol for many years, and so he's the marshal there. But we've agreed and have a contract for 110 beds for pretrial federal prisoners. And so pretrial means they haven't been sentenced and they've not pled guilty yet. And so we're holding those folks. We'll be holding those folks for them. And we contracted for $75 a day. So as you know, in your position, you do the math at 110 at $75 a day. That could be as much as $3 million a year. Yeah. And so can we do that forever? Probably not. But the first few years, I thought we can. Yeah. We're going to have plenty of room to do it. It'll certainly help us offset some cost on the front end and help get this building paid for. And so I look forward to that. I think it's going to be a good endeavor, a good partnership. And so they're looking forward to it. And I think we'll start off probably initially at about 30 and then see how that goes for the first 30 days or so. And then I think that they'll certainly fill us up. Increase up.
Yeah. And so they, don't hold federal court here much anymore. And so they're having to take them to Nashville or Knoxville or Chattanooga, all these different places. So right now they don't have any place to house them here locally. So they're having to travel long ways to bring them.
Yeah, we're in a unique position being, of course, Knoxville and Chattanooga is the Eastern District. And of course, we're close to them and right in the middle. And so we have nobody really close. And be honest, most of them was being held in Kentucky.
Wow.
Most of the Tennessee County jails are full and can't house them. And so we're in a unique position to where we might be able to take advantage of and get some revenue right now and do it. And so I look forward to it. I mean, there'll probably be some hiccups along the way, but I don't think it'll be anything major. And understand when we talk about pretrial, we want to get that across. Well, their time incarcerated, the judge and all the federal prosecutors and their lawyers, whoever their lawyers are, they're all paying attention to that. So most of these folks are going to be trying to be on good behavior.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be okay with that.
I think so too. I think it'll be a good program. Hey, we're talking with Sheriff Eddie Farris today about law enforcement. We got to take a break. Stay with us.
And now back to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you're having a great weekend. This week's show, it's all about law enforcement, and I've got our chief law enforcement official here in Putnam County, Sheriff Eddie Farris, as my guest this week. We've been talking about the new jail edition, opening a new federal prisoner program. Eddie, you've got something going on that you've been doing for a while now that I think is great, where you involve our local citizens, called the Citizens Academy. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. We're certainly proud of that. We've done that for about 8 years now, I think, and so Citizens Academy this year will be beginning on August the 8th, running through October the 10th, one night a week on Thursday nights. It lasts from 6 to 9 p.m. And we go through all of our divisions of our sheriff's office, and you'll get to hear from the people who run those different divisions, and you'll get to shoot guns, you'll get to do ride-alongs with that, you get to do jail tours, you'll get to do many things, and it's certainly something that we welcome and want people to sign up for and come, and they learn everything they are. Most people are surprised at what we do and how much we do and how we do it, and had no idea of the things that goes into it. And so we want to get that out. We partnership with certainly the citizens here in this county, and that's, make no mistake, that's who we work for. And I tell all the deputies and the people we hire, 97% of the people that live in Putnam County are absolutely great people, and that we're on the helping side more than we are the arresting side sometimes, although arresting is part of what we do. But
you got that 2 or 3%. That's the problem.
2 or 3%, and that's why we're building a new jail edition, right? Yeah, for the most part, we got great citizens and great people. So we want people to come and sign up. Please do that, and contact our office there at the sheriff's office, and we'll get you signed up and come along and bring your husband or your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever you'd like to, and we welcome it. I think you'll certainly enjoy it.
Great program. 528-8484 is the sheriff's department's phone number, and call them and tell them you want to sign up for the Citizens Academy. It's a great program. You'll learn stuff about our Sheriff's Department and law enforcement that you probably never knew, and you'll have I think a different outlook.
It will.
And one job that y'all got.
It will for sure, and most people are really amazed and appreciative and understand better of what we do and why we do some certain things. But I want to know that people who don't maybe tuning in that don't know anything about what that is, it's free, of course.
Yeah.
And we provide meal every Thursday, so you don't have to cook that night if you sign up and come. So
that's a good reason to sign up, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the Citizens Academy, starting August 8th through October the 10th. You can call the Sheriff's Department at 528-8484 to sign up. County Commission last month approved a new program, and I know you've been wanting to do this for a long time, but just didn't have the capacity or the means to be able to do it until the new jail edition was built. But that's a new work release program. Can you talk about that?
Work release, yeah. And so we're looking forward to that work release. We have work crews now. We have a work house, you might say, and a work crews. We got several crews that go out. These individuals are incarcerated, but they meet the threshold of the crime to where they can go out with a correction officer or another police officer and do certain duties, such as paint the community center. We contract with the state on picking trash garbage garbage up on the side of all of our state roads within Putnam County. And then we've got another crew that does the same thing within the county roads. And so we go on and on with those things, but those people only work during the day when somebody's with them. They're supervised all the time. They come back to jail. The work release program's a little different. This is a program in which the individuals may do something to get arrested or to have some time they have to serve, but have a job. So one portion of that is maybe they keep their job, and certainly that's a big important role in today's society and keeping things going. We don't want anyone to lose their job that's got a good job. So they go out at daytime and do their job. They come back in at night and stay in a specific area that we designate for the work release program and serve their time. That has to be approved by the judges and the judge that's in question there that's presiding over that case, and then district attorney and then the sheriff. And so we look forward to that. And then another faction of that is maybe people incarcerated in jail that don't have jobs but meet this threshold that we've went out and found factories and different locations or businesses that's willing to give someone a chance to work. And so if they meet that threshold, then they go to that job every day and work and then come back in at night. And so when that happens, the sheriff's office and the county is allowed to receive a certain portion of that for administrative fees from their job, from their getting paid from their job. Plus they pay their fines, as you know, as we both know, that there's millions of dollars of outstanding fines in Putnam County that people can't pay their fines or don't pay their fines. And then the rest of that money goes into account for them. And when they get out, then we write the check to them, and they got some money to start with. And hopefully the goal is to keep them working in that job. And that's what we want to do. And so, we're not sure how many's going to qualify for that. We could have as many as 30. 30's a lot. It's almost like another rehab program in a way. And so we're looking forward to trying that. And I think it'll be successful.
Well, I do too, Sheriff. I think any time that you can help these folks it's almost a form of rehabilitation, is because if they lose their job while they're in jail and then they get out of jail, they got nothing to start with. It makes it difficult. So I think so.
Difficult and induces probably more crime.
I think so too. They get right back into that same old drag. Hey, let's talk about this. Is a huge problem nationwide. We're seeing it, and that's fentanyl. I mean, I know you've been to the border, and it's coming across in truckloads, and we're seeing it here, and they're lacing normal drugs, ecstasy, and some of these other things with that fentanyl. It's become a real dangerous thing.
It's a real dangerous thing, and fentanyl is really in every drug now. So the number one drug submitted to TBI crime lab is still methamphetamine. But within the meth and within the heroin, of course, heroin's made a comeback, with the cocaine, with all of it is a certain amount of fentanyl. They're putting the fentanyl in all of it. And so it becomes a very, very dangerous drug, as you know. And of course, we see the numbers on our national news every night of the hundreds and thousands of overdose deaths. And so when it relates to us is really in our county jail, but people come into our jail, and it's never been any different than it has been 50 years ago. People try to sneak drugs in there. 85% of the people that are incarcerated in facilities are there because illegal drug activity or indirect drug-related crime crimes.
Caused them to be there.
And so they're sneaking the drugs in is nothing different, and overdosing and using those drugs in the jail is nothing different. The difference is when fentanyl's in it, it becomes a life-threatening event.
Yeah.
And so it's our jail's no different. It goes on every jail in Tennessee, every jail in the country right now. And so everyone's having the issue. And so, as you know, we have some instances from time to time in our jail, and we have medical staff on hand, and of course we use Narcan. Narcan's a opioid reverse effect type drug that we use. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's certainly a problem.
And it's crazy. These people are addicted, and I'm not saying I'm not making fun of that or anything, but these folks, when they're getting arrested, they're addicted to this stuff already. It amazes me at the lengths that they will go to try to get that in. And one thing I know you had to stop and redo was people getting mail in the jail.
Yeah, we had to quit that. They were soaking the envelopes and all that in certain drugs, and then chewing it and sucking on it and everything else to get the drug
crazy.
out. It's crazy. And let's go back to the getting in. Of course, we'll talk about the body cavities. That's how they're getting it in.
Yeah.
But we have people getting arrested on purpose so they can get the drugs in to their friends. And so it's become a real issue. And so we've got a high-tech, the latest, best X-ray machine, but that X-ray machine is really designed for weapons.
Yeah.
It's not really designed for drugs, although at times we can see that. And when we do, then we take the appropriate measures. But, it's hard to, we can't don't have the right to do body cavity searches and that kind of thing on every event. And then we do what we call dry celling. We get them in a cell, and we turn the water off and keep them there for ever how long it takes until they use the restroom. And then we're able to get those drugs and retrieve them, and then we'll put them in the general population. The key is to keep them away from all the other inmates so they don't share that drug. But it is a problem everywhere.
It's a terrible problem. It's killing our country. It absolutely is. Sheriff, you got a tough job. I appreciate what you do and what you've done for our county for all these years, and appreciate your friendship and relationship we have working together, and appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, it's been fun. We've had a good run so far, and I certainly hope the citizens let us do it a little longer. But yeah, it's been fun, and thank you. It's always fun working with you and all the other officials here. And the sheriff is a little different, I guess, but it is a tough job. But we all have tough jobs. We do this to make society better and a better place to live, and a better place for our families to live and work. And we've got a great place here, and I know you do, and I do. I work hard every day to try to keep it that way. And let's don't get down the road. And I'm not saying Nashville bad or Memphis bad, but they've got a lot of things going that's not good that we don't want in our community. And so we work hard every day to try to keep those things out. And I'm going to continue to do that as long as I'm the sheriff, as long as people will have me.
Absolutely. Same here. And we work together. We always do more stuff together than we do separately. And so we got a great group of folks that work together here in Putnam County. Appreciate that. That's our show for this week. Hope you join us every weekend for Today in Putnam County. I'm County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. May God continue to bless our great county.
You've been listening to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.